Hello everyone, and welcome to another Starcraft 2 replay. This one's going to take place on Typhoon Peaks, and we have a Protoss opponent today, Super Edwin. I don't know, I just feel like saying that with the super. Yeah, so this is going to be my first match after, kind of working on that new build order, and we'll see how it turns out. Just poke around at these different bases. Could be an optical illusion, but I swear, like, the ramp on the bottom two bases is further away from the fortress than on the top two. Because I'm going to have a little discovery this match that fortress actually covers this ramp okay, like, not bad. Where for some reason I only ever spawn on the bottom on this map. Like, I swear almost every game I have, and yeah, the fortress coverage is pretty terrible on the bottom. But yeah, check this out. I mean, that's not a far distance. Yeah, with range upgrade that works out pretty well. So I'm doing my one gas build, and one little advantage I've noticed is this really simplifies things. I don't have to worry about like throwing guys on and off gas all the time. I just kind of put 3 on gas and leave them there. You know, they eventually get the gas for my fortress, and then they pool up a decent amount. So when I'm ready for stim, and like the three SCVs doing that as well. Getting a little probe press here, just repairing my hurt SCV. Going back, look, he's going to try to finish the job. Ooh, close one. Got him. And already ready for the fortress. So not too much of a delay. I'm starting at around 4 minutes and 30 seconds, I think it was, somewhere around there. But at the same time, I already have my orbital done, which is nice. One of the advantages of the extra money. And getting now my second and third racks. And I think once I hit that 100 gas, yep, I'm even going to get the +1 range upgrade. Something I don't do very often, but I just feel like I can cover this ramp. And if I get the +1, it's all the better there. So looks like we got a 4-gate coming from Toss here. He was late to scout me, but he's got his proxy pylon, he's got his crap coming up, and yep, 4-gate. I'm going to get a little lucky in here. Look at what he has scouted. He has scouted a early command center. Never came back to double check what that turned into. So he moves in here, he's like, ooh, I'm going to wall off your ramp so I can fight the fortress by myself. Not the way you want to do it. He's kind of realizing now, no, that's not the target you want to fight. Let's try going up to the ramp. But now with the range upgrade on my fortress, check out this. Pop. Pop. And I already got a Marauder and 4 Marines, so as you can tell, this build is not as clumsy as my other one. Getting down my 4 barracks. Like I said, I'm going to continue with just a 4 barracks opening. Yeah, I won't be quite as prepped as he goes for early Colossus, but I think it puts me in better shape versus any other sort of early rush tactics like Blink Stalkers or Warp Prism or who knows what, or Mass Void Rays, or sorry, Void Ray Rush or whatever. Yeah, and it also gives me the opportunity to put some pressure on him before he gets his Colossus out. I knew sending this SCV back he would die. I don't know why I just didn't leave him out there somewhere. Anyways, putting myself at the bottom of the ramp. This I'm kind of on the fence about now too, because when he does drop in the back of my base, it's annoying how far away my forces are. And I'm not sure if I really need to protect my fortress that much. Fortress is pretty darn good on its own. So it looks like he's throwing out his Nexus now. We'll bring up the income tab, see how things are going. Yep, he's well behind, 40 to 35. Anytime you're even in Harvester count, that means you're well ahead of the Protoss, just because I get mules. Not a lot of mules, as I only got the 1 orbital, but still, I get mules, which is the equivalent to, say, 4 Harvesters. And, yeah, but he's actually behind Harvester count, so kudos to me. And my production's going pretty well. Money is, it's higher than it probably should be at this point in the game, but it's not. I've done worse than that before. But that does give me the money to start my tech towards Medivacs, or towards Starport. I may have to be Viking, depending if I see Colossus or not. One thing I was a little late on was my stim. It's still not researched now, and we're 10 minutes into the game. Still pushing out anyways. Looks like we're going to completely miss each other here. He's still warping in at this proxy pylon. I'm still pushing out his main. Protoss thrown down 3 more gateways. But pitiful force, we'll say, left over. And I got my stim and I got my concussive shells now, and we're pushing in. Don't have combat shield, but that's okay because I'm really marauder heavy anyways. Starport at some point. And with the observer, looks like, yep. Are you really going to waste a blink just to go up this first jump? Oh, wait, no, I've seen that. So, unpowering those gateways. Anytime you see a bunch of structures on one pylon, just target it down. Get rid of that. Now it is A moving to get rid of these probes. At the same time, looks like he is having to blink one at a time. That's funny. And here comes blinking into my base. Looks like he kind of failed that blink there, but yeah, as soon as I see this, I kind of panic. I'm like, should I run back and save myself? And I realize I can kill his main base. He can kill mine. But this is safe. So I just save as many SCVs as I can. We'll call this a slightly oversaturated base. And I figure, you know, I'll end up being 1 base versus none after this base trade. So I'm very happy with that. Just trying to micro to save my structures. You know, whenever I can float, should get saved. I lost my orbital. Looks like I'm unsupply capping him. This is one way to do it. You can throw down more pylons, or you can just wait till your opponent kills off all your units. Oh, unfortunately, he's using pylons as well, so still can't build anything. And heading back, taking out the refinery. Yeah, you probably want to focus fire the supply depots if you're going to attack anything up here, although I probably would have made an attempt to crush this base. I mean, it would probably be your only chance. Maybe hanging out in the high ground here, you'll be able to get range on this fortress. And if I weren't smart enough to lift off a barracks, that could actually do some damage. But you can see this more or less over. Just going to long distance mine with these SCVs. I mean, I figure I'm still well saturated here anyway, so it'll give me a little bit extra, and at the same time throw down a command center and a bunch of supply depots as I need both. 98 over 51 supply. And he has left the game. Probably because I destroyed all the structures. Yeah, he actually... Wow! Losing by losing all your structures, that's different. But you can see he was well out of it anyways. I was going to be... Say he escaped with like a handful of probes and started to rebuild. He's rebuilding. I already have a set up defended base and saved some of my production. So it still would have been GG. So there we have it. Can I? Maybe thumbs up fact will take a little bit of a look at the distance here, because I swear it could just be the perspective of it, but these top bases look like they cover the ramp really well, and these bottom bases, like, yeah, I mean that's a far distance. That doesn't cover that ramp at all. Maybe with range it'll cover like this corner here, but interesting. Never knew that. I don't think I've ever spawned on the top on Typhoon Peaks. After like 40 games, I've always spawned on the bottom. Of course, I'm sure I put up a video of myself spawning on the top, so ignore what I just said there. I just don't remember. Anyways, we'll jump into one more game, and we'll call out the end, because I've only actually played 2 games versus Protoss since I've started this build. Alright, so here we are on Shattered Temple, and the Red Terran spawning in the top position, and in the right-hand position we have Dragnus, the blue Protoss. Speaking of opponents, I was just looking through the Grandmasters League list, and I noticed a guy named Jake Bake is there, and I'm like, Jake Bake? I've played that guy before. I played just kind of in a custom game, King of the Hill sort of scenario. He was one of my first victims of the Massive Raven build, so even an early version of my Mass Ravens has a capability to beat a really solid player like that. So that makes me feel really cool. Yep, so once again, my new build order is going to do command center on 15 like usual, so supply depot straight into command center, but then after that it's just going to be one gas. One gas, populate it with 3, and then move straight onto your barracks and engineering bay. That'll delay your your fortress a little bit, but it gets everything else up much faster, which helps a lot if he decides to 4-gate me. So I did get a scout in on his base, and no, I did not get a scout in on his base. Getting ahead of myself here. Spoiler alert, I'm going to scout him at some point. So the extra minerals of this build is really nice for a couple of reasons. Maybe so I can get my barracks down quicker, and I'll have the extra money to throw down this orbital faster. Also, since I don't need the minerals for this command center as fast. This command center, you should build 1 SCV. I guess I missed that, or maybe that's the 1 SCV. Oh yeah, it is. That's 1 SCV. Then it should be fortress. A little bit late, but I did it. And there's my scout. Getting in and scouting a very early robotics facility, already complete at 5 minutes into the game. So, skill testing question here. What do you do when you see a really early robotics? Well, I figure it's one of 3 things. Retardedly early Colossus, which I'm not too worried about because that just means you won't have much gateway support. Or it's going to be some sort of play to bypass my front line. Either to get a quick observer, like say over here, so you can like blink in up this way, or you can put a pylon and warp in up this way. Or it's going to be warp prism play. Maybe you'll just like come in with a warp prism and drop off 4 troops and warp in a bunch more and start attacking me that way. So again, I'm getting down my 4 barracks as soon as possible. There's my first one, and 2, 3, 4. So I should be able to get the unit count up, and then I'm just kind of trying to block against the warp prism. It's kind of setting up this guy up here and this guy here. It's getting a lot of Marines. My idea is, if I can stuff the warp prism, I win the game. Because he's 1 basing, I'm going to 2 base, and I'll be in good shape. So it looks like his warp prism poked in and just kind of noticed the Marines. So he's warping in some units just to load up, and now he's going to try to come in again. I stuff him, I win the game. Or I leave a big blank spot in the back of my base, allow him to come in deep. Now it's going to be similar numbers, and he has this awesome position where I can't get at him with my SCVs, and I lost a whole bunch of SCVs before even the battle even started, and I don't know, and lost everything. Yeah, you say it, Ketroc. Scout the early robo, guess the right build, or guess the right reaction, and just don't scout it properly. So what you can do for next time, like just say this is the area you're worried about, like this ridge here. If you patrol up and down this ridge, you're constantly going to have Marines crossing this area, but only in the tips will you actually have a Marine show up here or here. So you either want to get like, just say get a clump of SCVs or Marines right here, say 3 Marines right here, and just leave them there, don't patrol. Or you can do some sort of zoning with a missile turret, say like throw a missile turret right here, so you don't have to worry about like, you only have to worry up to like, say this point. Or you can throw a missile turret right here and a missile turret right here, and then you only got to worry about this zone, this here. So those are a couple other options. I decided not to go the missile turret route since I went 4 barracks. I decided to spend all my money on troops, so in case he did land, I thought I could still get the troop count up fast enough to beat him, but yeah, I didn't. This one's kind of frustrating, as in when I saw that early robotics facility, I'm like, cha-ching, I've already won the game. Stuff the drop, and then it's 1 base versus my 2, and it's over. Alright, so those are my first 2 games I played versus Protoss. Thought I'd throw this video in quickly since I just did a previous video on my new kind of build order. And with that, we'll jump into the thumbs up fact, which I'll have to think up something to do for a thumbs up fact. Alright, and goodbye. Nope, not goodbye. Thumbs up fact.
Looks like I picked the wrong day to quit stim packs.
Alright, time for the thumbs up fact of the day. Now,
Go ahead. Bad news.
since this video is kind of an extension of the previous video, I thought for today's thumbs up fact of the day, I'll just do an extension on the last video's thumbs up fact of the day. Now, I talked before about how SCVs, when you put them on auto repair and put them inside a medevac, they can, or inside a bunker, they can repair the other mechanical units inside those. Now, when I read about that, people kind of called it like, you know, a bug or an exploit, but to me it doesn't seem like an exploit. Like, if an SCV can repair a Hellion on the ground, I don't see why it can't repair a Hellion when they're both inside a medevac.
Ready for pickup?
However, this is a little bit different in that when we put them inside a single SCV on auto repair inside a medevac, all of a sudden it's able to repair itself. Notice how it's getting better. Same goes for the bunker.
Waiting on you.
And same goes for, say, a command center or a planetary fortress. This kind of has some uses. I mean, especially if you're repairing a bunker and your SCV gets on low on hit points, gets focused, you can throw it inside the bunker, and then you can pop it out again. And while it's in there for a little bit, it's actually repairing itself. And yeah, I would agree that this is definitely a bug.
Bad news.
Yeah, I got a dirty joke to say, but I'm probably not going to say that. We'll keep it PG for the YouTube, but there's other things you shouldn't be able to do yourself as well. And that's the kind of the analogy that popped in my head, but we'll let that one be. So yeah, enjoy this bug while you can, or don't enjoy it if you actually think it is a bug and you want to be super fair. But yeah, it's probably got some practical use. For instance, when I'm defending the 4 gate, since we're talking about that so much, I'm so heavily reliant on repairing my bunker. I can just, as he's focus firing the SCVs, I can quickly throw the SCV in the bunker, and then I can pop the SCV back out. That takes the focus fire off of the SCV, and it also will do a little bit of repairing while it's inside there. So with that, we'll call that the end of this thumbs up fact and end of this video, and thank you everyone, and goodbye. Wrong key.